of the Patriot, where we speak truth to power. Now here we don't criticize, but if we must, we would only do that on one condition: to build and not to destroy. That is why we keep saying we are in the service of God and country. And of course, this is the voice of the people, and the voice of the people is the voice of God. Here we are not neutral. We have taken sides. Yes, the side of the people, the side of the truth. That is why we keep saying we are the headquarters of the truth. Yes, the voice of the people. And as usual, we have some very important issues to look at, and I need you to come along. Oh gosh. This is our daily editorial right here on the Urban Blend. And my name, Blakk Rasta, is called The Voice of the People. Now, the very first story we are looking at today is taken from Ghana Web, and it says, I didn't come here by accident, so I can't be threatened. NPP MP tells I hear for. And I read, now the first Deputy Minority Whip of Parliament, Habib Idrisu, on July 8, 2025, reminded the first Deputy Speaker, Bernard Anyafo, who was presiding over parliamentary proceedings, that he was elected to the House and was not there by accident. He emphasized that he could not be threatened while expressing his views in the chamber. He emphasized that he could not be threatened while expressing his views in the chamber. According to him, as an elected member of parliament, he has every right to express his opinions without any form of intimidation. His comments followed a heated debate in the chamber over the use of the dispatch box. Now, the minority leader, Alexander Afenyomakin, had approached the dispatch box to pose an urgent question to the Speaker of Trade, Industry and Agribusiness, Elizabeth Ofosu Ajari. However, the question could not be taken as confusion erupted when the majority leader, Mahama Ayerga, raised concerns and sought to block him, citing the process and the standing orders governing the use of the dispatch box. The argument escalated, drawing in other members, including Habib Idrisu, who also serves as the Member of Parliament for Tolon in the Northern Region. He argued, Mr. Speaker, we made an application to you to the effect that you, as the presiding speaker, the first deputy speaker of the 9th Parliament of the Republic of Ghana, did rule that we on this side can use this dispatch box. It belongs to us. However, Anyafo, who had already asked Habib to withdraw his claim, challenged him, issuing a disclaimer that he had never made such a ruling in the House. He further cautioned that he would give Habib time to produce the record of the alleged ruling, failing which the rules of the House would be applied accordingly. Now, if you wouldn't mind, I would give you time to produce a copy of my ruling. And if you are unable to do so, we will invoke the rules I herefore stated. Now, in response, Habib clarified, Mr. Speaker, I just said maybe you didn't hear me right. I had said, Mr. Speaker, that if what happened does not constitute a ruling, I take it back. But you were the one presiding over the incident when the incident happened, and you finally allowed him to take the question. This is the basis of my claim. But if it doesn't constitute a ruling, I take that back. Mr. Speaker, I am an elected member of the House. I cannot be threatened. I didn't come here by accident. I was elected. So if I make an application, I shouldn't be threatened that the rules would be invoked against me. Sometimes it is very necessary to remind our parliamentarians that they are not kindergarten boys. My brother, my sister, I understand where Habib Idrisu is coming from, honorable. And I do understand that when we are in an adult, responsible institution, we don't have to be reminded, or we need not to be reminded of the repercussions of our actions. We are supposed to have that innate. But my brother, my sister, in recent times, we have seen how the Ghanaian parliament has descended into chaos. We have people squeezing each other's testicles. Yes, squeezing each other's testicles, as we were told, and as was reported in the media and repeated by sitting MPs. My brother, my sister, if people who are supposed to be called honorable members will descend into the gutter to break tables in the parliament, break microphones, and nobody has asked them to pay 100 times the damage, Ghana, at the end of the day, is at loss. This is willful pilfering or causing financial damage to our nation. My brother, my sister, that notwithstanding, let us also remind ourselves of the fact that a lot of our politicians are only in there because of their political parties and never because of Ghana. By their actions, you can see, by their fruits, they shall be known. My brother, when a democratic voting was going on in Parliament, we saw a certain guy who wants us to call him an honorable snatch ballot papers, and he chewed those like a pregnant tortoise. My brother, my sister, other parliamentarians trying to salvage those papers gave him a beating of a lifetime in Parliament. At the end of the whole caboodle, what did we see? Military inside the Parliament House. It's an abomination. It's a place of democracy. The military is not, and I repeat, it's not welcome in there. The military is supposed to be at the barracks. The military is only supposed to be called on when there's an aggression against the nation, not kindergarten squabbles in the Parliament House by kindergartenians. Can you write that down? A lot of our parliamentarians are not parliamentarians. They are kindergartenians. Kindergarten boys and girls. Because if you truly care about this nation, and I stand to be corrected, tell me, how on earth would you, my brother, my sister, go all the way out to break the legs of tables, break microphones that belong to the nation that you swore that you would keep next to your heartbeat? My brother, we have seen some kind of voting in the very near past where you could tell, my brother, my sister, even if you didn't have any scintilla of common sense, that people were voting on partisan lines and not in the interest of Ghana. One of those, E-Levy. We saw how the charlatans voted E-Levy into power. At the end of the day, my brother, my sister, a few days later, they said the E-Levy was not working, therefore we had to go begging. And you expect me to sit here and keep quiet and pretend that everything is okay? I am glad Honorable Ahiafo made it clear one more time that, listen, your actions come with a certain repercussions. Your actions come with a certain responsibilities. My brother, my sister, your actions come with a certain responsibility. Your actions, my brother, my sister, come with a certain repercussion. Yes, Habib is right to say, I don't need to be reminded, because I did not come here by accident. I was voted by the good people of the Tolon constituency. They trust in me. They believe me. That is why they chose me out of many others to represent them. Don't ever demean the common sense of judgment of the people of Tolon. He's right. But Ayafo is also right. When parliamentarians descend into the gutter like gutter boys, when all of a sudden parliamentarians become kindergartenians, we need to remind them that they bear a certain name that is synonymous with dignity, honorable. I'm glad these things are happening. Again, to all the appointees of the president, we need to have something in their offices that will remind them of their responsibility to stand by the republic in the days of a champion. In fact, we had notices in all public spaces and offices, and he said, don't take gifts, they are bribes. My brother, today bribe has become the order of the day, and we demand bribes in Ghana. Like in the words of the former president, John Evans Atta Mills. In fact, we demand bribe with such effrontery, my brother, my sister, as if it was the norm. To Honorable Ayafo, please, thank you so much for reminding people in Parliament that they have a certain responsibility to the people. A lot of them have forgotten. All they think about is winning the next election. All they think about is bringing their party back into power. And it's a shame. Where is the Ghanaianism? Where is our patriotism? If there was a certain thermometer or patriometer to test patriotism, a lot of these parliamentarians are going to fail. Because patriotism is not in their lexicon. I leave it here. The next story we want to look at is still there in Parliament, right? And I need us to come along and listen with rapt attention. This one is also taken from Ghana Web. Ernest Kumi didn't die a natural death. Someone is behind it because of his seat. And this is an uncle alleging, and I read, Eugene Opoku Echampong, an uncle to the late Ernest Yao Kumi, the member of Parliament for Akwetia constituency in the Eastern region, has alleged that his nephew did not die a natural death, but rather fell ill to a spiritually orchestrated attack. According to Eugene, who also serves as the constituency secretary of the NPP in Akwetia, Kumi's death was the result of envy over his parliamentary seat. Speaking in an interview on Movement TV on July 8, 2025, he alleged that discussions about a by-election to replace Kumi were already ongoing while the MP was still alive. We will leave it to God. But one thing I would like to say is that Ernest Yao Kumi didn't die a natural death. God didn't call him. Someone is behind his death. I am telling you plainly that he didn't die a natural death. He emphasized. He further claimed that it is an open secret in Akwetia, where almost everyone is aware of talks about the planned by-election to take over the seat. Eugene added that he personally heard the same rumors. I leave it here. My brother, my sister, the uncle is still in denial. And when death knocks, some people can get this hysterical. I don't blame him. No, I won't. I have been in situations like that where I defied the doctors and said it is not true. this family member of mine is not dead. There is no way. I won't listen to anything. My brother, my sister, in some cases, you live in denial. But the truth is that Yaokumi is dead. Now, the reality stays, and this is what it is. He came into the Parliament House through a disputed election. We all should know this. Remember, there was one time he was in Parliament, and there was an arrest warrant for him. He had to sneak out of Parliament. And when he was even asked not to appear in Parliament, he defied it and went there. My brother, my sister, the laws of the nation, he broke. He refused, my brother, my sister, to obey the same laws that he was coming into the Parliament House to protect and uphold. Let's get that clear. We remember when a journalist approached him to ask him a few questions, and we saw the effrontery, the insults he threw at the journalist. We don't want to go into that because they say when a man is dead, you don't speak ill about him, even if he was the demon, the devil. I don't believe in that. If a man was an ass, when he dies, he doesn't become a donkey. He's still an ass. If a man, my brother, my sister, is a sheep, when he dies, he doesn't become a dead pig. He's still a dead sheep. Let us be clear. I am a believer in shaming the dead, like it was done in Belgium in the days of Leopold II. When he died after the heinous crimes he meted out to the people of the Congo, changing a whole country and naming it after himself, Leopoldville, the city of Leopoldville, the capital. Later, it was called Kinshasa. My brother, he cut the hands and limbs of people he sent by force into the forest to go bring rubber. And because they couldn't bring, they cut off the limbs of their wives and their children. King Leopold II, when he died, in fact, he was shipped all the way to Belgium, where he belonged, and his coffin and his dead body were thrown on the streets whilst people hooted at this dead body and spat on it. If you have your family member, your dead family member spat at, kicked in the groin, yes, they might not feel the pain. In fact, we don't really know whether they feel the pain in death or not because I've never died. Somebody who has ever died should tell me that they don't feel pain when they are dead. My brother, my sister, when you have a dead family member treated like that, next time another idiotic family member tries to disobey the laws of this nation, steal from the nation, in fact, the family, to prevent the disgrace of throwing the corpse out and spitting at it and kicking it, will fight for the nation. If I am wrong, tell me, Blakk Rasta, you are an idiot. The dead is a testimony to the living. And if you believe in this, my brother, my sister, it is time to still punish our dead. I have never been in the army. My father dreamt of being in the army. He couldn't do it. For reasons I will tell you one day. My brother, my sister, I hear when a soldier disobeys military rules and he goes out there and dies, they will lock up this soldier in a guard room and beat that soldier, the dead soldier. They will lash you as if you were alive. Some people also said, well, they don't really lash the dead body, they lash the uniform of the dead body. Do you know how many military officers take this as a cue? And they try not to disobey the laws of the military. Do you know? Because they know that death is not even going to save them from punishment. If you go and hang yourself as a soldier man in Ghana, I hear when they pull you down, they will ship the hell out of the dead That if you still have a little bit of life in you, they whip the hell out of you before they throw you into a shallow grave. Can I now come back to Yakumi? Yakumi did not respect the laws of this country. The same laws he was supposed to go into the Parliament House and deal with. The court said, don't go to the Parliament House. No, he was bigger than the laws of Ghana. He went there. When he realized that he was supposed to be arrested, all of a sudden, he tried to sneak out. But a sneaky nosy journalist found him. And when he stretched a microphone in front of him, he had insults as if they were coming from the mouth of Lucifer. Hallelujah. Today, the brother here is gone. He was so hungry to be an MP. By fair means or foul means, he was not ready for accountability. Are you proud of a guy like this? Now his uncle comes to say, you know what? They were already talking about by-election. Me don't yami, and yami ne friend no. Yami and friend no, when a friend bon samana. Let's be serious, please. It's painful to suffer deaths, but the nation must stand first. If my uncle stole money, my brother, my sister, and he was convicted of thievery, and then he decides to commit suicide in prison, first day he goes in there, you think I'll be part of the burial? If I happen to be the family head, my God, there are a lot of vultures at Sodom and Gomorrah there. We'll go and leave him there. The vultures will feed on him. My brother, my sister, this is what we must be doing to the dead so the living can learn. But again, Yakumi is gone. There was a dispute over his seat naturally in court. So if people were talking about a by-election, it's not far-fetched. The courts had already told him not to hold himself as an MP. If I am wrong, correct me. Let's call a spade and not a long farm implement. May we... Now the last story I'm going to look at is also interesting. Yesterday we started it and today we'll complete it. From Ghana Web, it says, Accra mayor apologizes over heated confrontation with police officer. Come along with me. Come along. And I read. The mayor of Accra, Michael Bakbo Alote, has apologized to the general public for his heated altercation with an MTTD police officer. Following reports from road users that the officer had been extorting money from drivers at Tudu in Accra. Now, according to him, he is not targeting the police as some have perceived, but it is rather advocating. Yes, but it's rather advocating for the right actions to be taken. And for security agencies to carry out their duties responsibly. In his own words, he said, an incident happened yesterday between the mayor and the police. I am not after the police, but just trying to let people do the right thing. If anybody thinks that what I did was wrong, I am apologizing to Ghanaians. He told the media on July 8th, 2025. Did you hear that? Mayor Bakbo Alote, I was beginning to become a fan of yours. But it looks like you are an arrogant man. Where are you taking that arrogance to? If anyone thinks that what you did not go down well with him or her, then you apologize. Any apology that comes with ifs and buts is balderdash. It's hogwash. My brother, my sister, what kind of apology is that? Please, my mayor, I love you. I know that there's a heart in you that is beating to see the right thing done. You made a mistake. Everybody in Ghana told you that, yes, you have a good heart. We don't want our police to go out there and be taking money. But was it in your capacity to go out and confront a policeman in line of duty? In some serious countries, you would be arrested and fined for obstructing the policeman in his duties. You stopped the traffic from flowing. He was a traffic policeman. You stopped him, pulled him out of his duty line, only to start an altercation with him. And he called your bluff and said, hey, if you have any evidence, go ahead and do whatever you want to do. Yesterday we spoke nicely about it. Yes, you made a mistake, but that's also in your line of duty. Maybe it's some kind of exuberance. You understand? But today, look at what you're saying. Oh, yesterday something happened, and then the people say, Kwe, that I am trying to fight the police. Dabi, okay, Dabi, it's not about that. If anyone thinks that what I did is wrong, taflache unu, taflache. Many po ne. Please stop this. I still like you. I know that you have a heart that is beating to see the correct thing done, but leave the arrogance aside. Apologize. Oh, I'm sorry. In fact, I was overwhelmed by emotions when I saw what looked like the policeman was there actually taking money from motorists after he was reported to me. What I should have done was to hide in a corner, take a full video for evidence, and then immediately tell him that, you know what, I have a video of you taking money and blah, 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 blah. But because you are on duty, I'll let you go. I'll report you to your superiors. That is if you even need to do that. Just take the evidence. Talk to the IGP. Or are you the new IGP? Please, let power not make us drunk. I leave it here. Yes,